First Alert 6 has discovered the reasoning behind the firing of a Douglas County deputy.
Deputy Nolan Dudick was fired after an internal investigation in May. Today, we've learned those specific details. The cyber tip was received by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children last December. That tip identified numerous images of potential child sexual abuse linked to an iCloud account owned by Dudick. An internal investigation revealed several code of conduct violations. The report states he attempted to purchase alcohol on duty while in uniform. The investigation goes on to say he was also allegedly drunk on the job. He is accused of causing a disturbance at his residence and threatening to kill any law enforcement officer who showed up at his house. The sheriff says Dudick lied about these allegations.
Dudick appealed his firing, claiming the Douglas County Sheriff's Office did not have the necessary evidence to support this decision and claims his rights were violated. Since the investigation, DCSO uncovered additional information. According to the report, Dudick was taking photographs of on-duty female deputies and using AI in order to generate nude images. This includes juvenile members of the DCSO Explorer program. All of this information led to the DCSO denying Deputy Dudick's initial appeal. The fired deputy is now appealing his termination to the Merit Commission. That next hearing will take place at their regularly scheduled meeting in October. For a full write-up of today's findings and the latest on this breaking news, head over to FirstAlert6.com.